All meetings are conducted normally at the main office at 3116 South Street, unless otherwise noted, but we did put the notice out that we're going to have it here at Lexington Place. So I appreciate all those folks that are here, and all members of the public are welcome to attend virtually. So Rita, can you hear me clearly?
I can.
Okay, Miss Marshall, if you could do the roll call, please.
Commissioner Barham, Commissioner Cost, Commissioner Jiggets, Commissioner Prince, Commissioner Wicks. Here. Vice Chair Roberts,
Here.
Chair Levon.
Yes, here. All right. Thank you. Well, I'll just move down the agenda until we do get a quorum to go back through the minutes. And we've got a special presentation by Mr. Bennett. We'll get him, I guess, as he comes in. Sure. As far as my remarks go, for the record, we had a special session, I guess about 2 weeks ago, to highlight some of the. Anyone, sir? To highlight some of the issues that we're having in our public housing areas. We had management report to us about what we're doing for security, and also ask for support and information from the city, from and the police about what they're doing to support us in housing, in the security for the city. So I appreciate that. Also, last Monday, the city had a special meeting, had a work session on crime prevention. They talked about the statistics and some of the issues of crime in Portsmouth. They came out at the very end and echoed the issues that they're trying to help us with crime in our areas, and also crime throughout the city. And I want to read the call to action that they had at the very end. Crime is not only an issue in Portsmouth, but also an issue that is plaguing our nation. The city's call to action will require all of Portsmouth in this fight. It is not a one-person show or an overnight fix. As we continue to knock down barriers, boundaries, and stigmas that surround this great city, we must lean on each other for help and support. So I thought that was a very good comment at the end. So for the record, we've just got got the word that management is working on what we can do to try and improve the pickup of the trash at Dale. We're buying trash receptacles for every unit at Dale, and they should be going in. And he's also working with the city to see what they could do to pick up the trash with their trucks instead of all that responsibility laying with us. I would encourage all the commissioners to get heavily involved with the family self-sufficiency and residence initiative that we have. We've got some great people at Family Sufficiency. They're working closely with employment with a lot of our folks in housing. They've got a lot of seniors projects for family self-sufficiency. And I've already challenged Mr. Bland to see what specific programs that we can have for Dale Homes. We are still hurting on hiring. We're significantly short on maintenance people. We're significantly short on assistant property managers. We're being plagued by folks that are just not applying for we have plenty of openings for jobs, and we just can't get people to hire for them. And it's starting to show in some of the maintenance of some of the facilities that we have. The second one is we're having problems with landlords or finding houses that can be used by folks that have the housing choice vouchers. Mr. Bland has gone out with the flyer. The agency's gone out with a flyer giving bonuses to landlords who are willing to rent to PRHA. So we've got the double-edged sword. We're having a hard time finding places for our public housing folks to move to if they have a voucher. And secondly, we're having a hard time keeping those places maintained. We've got a new police chief on board, Chief Prince. He'll be sworn in on the 3rd of September at 11 o'clock. I would encourage the commissioners to attend that meeting at City Hall at 11 o'clock on the 3rd. We're meeting with the Vice Mayor. Mr. Bland and I are meeting with the Vice Mayor next Tuesday to talk about, again, we need more support from the city. We need more visibility from the city on trying to support the issues that we have in our housing. And then we've got the city manager. We've just got a message from the city manager that they're going to allow us to meet one-on-one with the council so we can talk to the council about the help that we need from the council to help support our business here with the housing. We got a great letter from HUD about our audit for the year financial audit, so I thought that was great. It looks like the finances are really looking strong. And then lastly, if any other commissioners are available, I'm going to be taking the housing choice voucher folks out to lunch on Wednesday. So if you'd like to join me at East Side Pizza, all right, it's on my nickel, but I want to at least say thank you to those and the hard work that they're doing. All right. With that in mind, I'm going to backtrack and go to the approval of the commissioners' minutes. You have in front of you the minutes for July 15th, which was the regular call meeting. And you have in front of you the minutes for August 2nd, which was a special call meeting. So I'd ask for any discussion on those minutes. Okay, I need a motion to accept those minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes
Okay,
for July 15th.
And a second.
Second.
Right, we have a motion and a second. I guess we got to do one at a time. Ms. James?
That's correct.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Ms. Marshall?
Commissioner Barron. Commissioner Cost,
Yes.
Commissioner Jake, Commissioner Prince,
Yes.
Commissioner Wick,
Yes.
Vice Chair Robert,
Yes.
Chair Lalonde.
Yes. Also, again, the minutes for August 2nd, I need a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes
Okay.
for August 2nd.
Got it? And a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Ms. Marshall?
Commissioner Cost,
Yes.
Commissioner Prince,
Yes.
Commissioner Wick,
Yes. I'm sorry, did you say you weren't here? I weren't, so I can't. Right. Okay, I can't vote on it either, correct? Correct. Okay, so someone else needs to make a motion.
Can she make the motion?
She can make the motion.
Okay.
she just can't- Oh, I can't? Yeah. Oh, okay. Understood.
You want to continue, Ms. Marshall?
Vice Chair Robert,
Yes.
Chair Lalonde.
Yes. Thank you very much. We now have a place in our agenda here for our councilman liaison, which is Vice Mayor Barnes, and the alternate is Councilman Battle. Are they with us on this call? All right, I'll move on.
Chair,
Yes, sir.
just for the roll call record, I didn't hear.
Yes, sir. We got you down. We
All
got
right.
you down, both of y'all. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Barron was, in front of me, maybe he got lost, I don't know.
There he is. All right, sir. Come on in. Come on in, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Y'all that just walked in, if you need a water or sodas, I know there's some in the refrigerator there. If it's available, please take it. Okay, all right. I'm going to move on to committee remarks. The first one is the Finance Committee. Rita, is it okay if I give the remarks on that?
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay. Met with our CFO, Ms. Sterling, this afternoon about 4 o'clock. You have in front of you the financials for second quarter. As I said with the audit, looks like we do have a handle on the finances. We do have a couple hiccups, and Ms. Sterling, I'm going to let you talk those couple exceptions if you don't mind.
Good evening, commissioners, staff, and friends. We had pretty good second quarter. As Mr. Lalonde said, we did have a few bumps. COCC experienced a small loss. We are now kind of starting to experience with loss of revenue on some of the properties coming in with less revenue. So what we do is each of the properties, you earn a management fee. That's a different percentage on each of the properties. And then of course with, as you all are aware, with Swanson, we're going to start having, we've already started having some of the vacancies. So that's of course less management fees coming in. Although the COCC can be balanced with management business activities, which did experience profit. At the end of the year, when I do audits, sometimes we might find that the girls have maybe posted something into the wrong category, and that's when we do a real thorough scrub and reallocate things to where they really need to go. But for the most part, it's pretty right on it. The only property that really experienced a loss is Hamilton 1. We have been asked by Virginia Housing to update to use down some of our replacement reserves. So we have been, housing staff has chosen to upgrade the carpets to an LVT, so they have to be changed out less often. And of course, more of a cost, so that's why they had a loss. But I will be working with them to recoup the monies that are set aside in a reserve account. And then, of course, HCV, even though they're a very strong program, HUD back in 2020 had fronted us about $164,000 in mainstream funding. And until that started leasing up, they had requested us to send that money back, and they will now send it out as I have to record the numbers every month on a PMS reporting site for them. So they will start sending us back the money. Other than that, everything was really good.
Thanks, ma'am. Any questions from the commissioners? Any questions?
So I have a question.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
the vacancies at Swanson, does that have to do with the upcoming demolition? And so as people are moving out, we're not replacing them?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Bland, I guess it's financially oriented. I had a call from somebody out at Phoebus that was concerned about the water bills. I'll talk to you specifically about that. I did mention it to Ms. Sterling about the issue with the water bills. All right, the Development Committee. Ed? You know?
Ms. Cost and I had a really good conversation with Mr. Page on Tuesday. He ran us through a number of different initiatives that they're working through right now. The two that I'll mention now are Lincoln Park. This is for, some senior housing development. He's got a task order issued for one of PRHA's developer partners to prepare a plan for developing on the site of at least 100 units of senior housing. So we should have a plan for that very soon. And then with Twin Pines, this is also a senior housing initiative. It's continuing to work with the owner and developer of that site in Churchland and plan on approximately 70 units there. So looking to have an update on the layout and the amenities very soon. The other 5 properties that we discussed at our meeting on Tuesday will be brought up during closed session.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Watts, anything? All right, good. The Human Resources Committee, sir?
I'm lacking in that. The new job in Richmond, so now that I've got a schedule, we'll get back to
All
that.
right, sir. All right, sir. Thank you. Housing?
I want to
Yes, ma'am.
elaborate on human resources.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Bland and I met
Yes.
a couple weeks ago, and just going through the handbook, we haven't really found anything significant to change yet, but we did revise some pages in there that was on the grievance policy to include the executive director in those procedures. And also we're gonna implement with the treatment for employees who have issues with substance abuse. Right now, they're given one chance. And after that, they're terminated. But we're gonna try to put in there to make it 2 chances before termination is in place. And other than that, we're just meeting and still elaborating.
Thank you, ma'am. So can we bring that policy to the board meeting next month to vote on?
No, it's probably trying to get through the complete book. It's probably gonna be first of the year before we go.
Okay, all right. Okay. Housing Committee? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Cost?
I think we touched on, some of it. We were talking earlier about the mainstream vouchers. They said they issued the 120 mainstream vouchers out. Many of them were having problems finding housing, so they were advised to port out to other cities. I did talk to someone the other day that were having problems finding it. Do they get a chance to, extend the voucher? But she said she didn't get a chance to extend.
The funding is going to expire at the end of September for anybody that's not under lease. So we're giving them as much of an extension as we can. But we're encouraging them to hurry up and get paperwork back into us so that we can get them under lease, because we have to do inspections and so forth for them. So we did give them an expiration date. If they're calling us and looking for an extension, we're giving them a few more days at the time.
That's a few days, okay. That's it for the housing.
All right, thank you very much. And with governance, just the final thing there, our next board meeting is technically our annual meeting, and we'll be voting on officers, board chair and vice chair for the next year, all right? Okay, Mr. Bland, you're up.
Okay, from the last meeting, you asked me to do an update on the, Housing Authority HON event, which was on July the 1st at the Scope. And, they had 33, and that was in collaboration with, the Housing Authority with Chesapeake, Norfolk, Portsmouth, and Suffolk, combined. 33, folks came in, 13 visited the table, and 3 was interviewed, and one person was hired by the Portsmouth Housing Authority. And then and then we had a separate event here in Portsmouth, and 10 attended that, and 3 applicants visited the table, but no one was hired for it, of course, I know of that. Also, you asked me to do an update on the security, what we're doing for security at Dale. And so the sheriff and police continue to work part-time at all of our properties. The police continue to increase presence at all the property as a result of violent crime that's going on. In-house security staff, special police officers recruited, both of them have doing a great job. Partnering with the police and sheriff officers to combat violent crime in all of our communities. Increased parking enforcement and have towards some cars that have been abandoned in our property. When I say abandoned, those are the cars that have flat tires, tags have expired. And I will say that most of those, probably 99% of those vehicles are non-residents. We have a problem with non-residents parking using our parking or our spaces instead of taking the cars where they live. So we have been active, and because of that, we get residents that call us saying there's no parking, so we're aggressively making sure that we have parking for our residents, and we are moving cars out that are non-residents. We increased the crime surveillance at Swanson. There have been some issues there. And that's basically been it. And basically, based on the pandemic, we will continue to have extra police and in-house security, at least for the rest of this year and probably going into 2022. We would do what's necessary to make sure that our residents are safe. And we will continue to have that commitment and make sure that our residents are safe where they live and they feel comfortable. And we're going to be working actively with the police department. I'm going to try to get a meet with the new police chief who just came on board.
Thank you, Mr. Bland. And let me follow up with the other commissioners there. As I said, I've said for a couple meetings, making sure that the safety of our residents is our #1 concern. While as a board, we've got other issues to deal with. And I think I've made the comment that I go through Dale at least once a day, and now I've been trying to go through at night through Dale. I came by after church on Sunday through here, and there was a fellow that had a flat tire. So I have one of those air things in my car. So I told him, I said, I could help you with your tire to pump up. So while I was pumping up the tire, I saw a lot of trash. So I keep trash bags in my car. So I started picking up trash. Well, then he started giving me heck about picking up the trash. Why am I picking up the trash? And I said, well, I want the place to stay clean. And I got lectured from him for about 5 minutes about picking up trash. Then after I got the tire pumped up, I said, is there anything I can help you with? And I said, where do you live at? He said, I don't live here. All right. I'm just visiting somebody. So the concern, I don't know how to react to stuff like that. I was just helping the guy out with his tire. All right. And a couple other people came up trying to help him too, which was very nice. They came up to help him up, but he didn't even know, he didn't have the, I guess there was a special key to get to his spare tire. He didn't even know where his spare tire was at. But I just want to make sure y'all know my commitment is I go through there at least once a day. Now I'm going through at night, and I appreciate all what the security folks are doing. You guys are doing amazing work. You know, that doesn't mean we're fixed, by no means. I mean, it doesn't mean we're fixed at all right? But, you know, it seems like, as I've said before, I've had the talk with the city management, I've had the talk with the mayor, I've had the talk with the police chief. I didn't know we were in the security business. I didn't know that. I thought we were in the housing business, okay? And, if Mr. Bland hasn't, from financial, we've spent close to $1 million on security so far this year. $1 million on security that we should be spending on trash, we should be spending on road repair, that we should be spending on termite pest control, and we're spending it on security. But that's what we're gonna do, because that's the thing we need to do right now. It's the right thing to do. So just make you all aware that I was out there on Sunday, okay? Mr. Bland, anything else?
Yeah, a couple other items. If you know, I sent the commissioners the city of Portsmouth in collaboration with some of the other jurisdictions get ready to do testing for weekly testing starting October 1st for their employees who may not haven't taken the vaccine. So the Portsmouth Housing Authority, we want to do the same thing starting in October. And what I want to do is pass you down a letter that to the commissioners that will be going to all the employees. And basically what it's just saying is the employees who have had the shot, they can download the card and they'll be fine. But the employees who have not had shots will have to get do weekly testing. It's a way of making sure that our employees are safe, our residents are safe. And that's what we want to do is because we know with the fall coming with this new virus, you know, we don't know what's what. So we just following the lead of the city. And you know, the state had did some stuff as well as the federal government.
All right, we got two resolutions. We got resolution 2021-24. Is that you, Philip? Closed session, okay. And we have resolution 2021-25. Video surveillance system for surveillance system contract to provide cameras for Dales 1 and 2. Yeah, sure. Again, Ms. Adams, are you the one?
Yeah, she's not here.
This is, we're going out with a request for proposal to issue to select on December 3rd, to select a firm to provide video surveillance systems for the authority. ELA Holding Corporations, DBA known as Turnkey Technology, was awarded the contract for $263. After board approval to provide video surveillance to Swanson Homes and Seaboard Square. Since that time, PRHA has experienced increased criminal activity in Dales 1 and 2 that has negatively affected the communities and safeties of the residents. Increased security measures, including hiring retired police officers and sheriff patrols, have helped, but video surveillance provide an extra layer of protection and oversight to the community. This system would allow security officers and the police department to monitor the community virtually as well as in person, providing eyes on the community. To increase safety and the well-being and remain responsive to our residents, PRHA is requesting this board approval to increase the value of the ELA Holding Corporation's doing business as Turnkey Technology contract by $142,068 and to extend the contract to the end of 2022. The contract will have a value of $405,068. Right. Explain anything else?
That's it.
Is there any,
Yeah, I've got a question. What kind of effectiveness have we seen from the security system that has been installed so far?
Well, we have the security system at Seaboard and we have it at Swanson. And both with those systems, they are connected to the police command post that they can see what's going on. And by putting the same system into Dale, then we will be able to monitor what's going on better. And that will help with some of the, I call bad activities going on in Dale. So it's once again, it will be a way to enhance not only what we have out there, foot patrol going on now, riding through by having the police department be able to look at the cameras while they're setting the command post will help to diminish that. And when we put the cameras in, we also put signs up, making everybody aware that, the surveillance cameras are there, so hopefully that will deter some of the crime going on. Along with that too, and 99% of all the crime that happen in Dale are non-residents.
All right, anything else? Anything else?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Wicks?
Would these be like, on the light pole or they?
They'll be on the light poles and on the building as well.
On each building? And it's connected to the police department?
Correct.
Correct.
All right, any other comments? Say again?
I have a question. It's a lot of young people out here, and there is no activity for a lot of the kids to
Yes,
do.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let us stay on this,
Oh,
and I'll give you all the time you need to talk. I'll give you 5 minutes when we get there, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks very much. All right. Yeah. I need a motion to authorize the execution of, the amendment to contract 2007, resolution 2021-25. I need a motion.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2021-25.
Second, I have a motion, a second. I need, roll call vote or vote there, Ms. Marshall.
Commissioner Barrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Clough,
Yes.
Commissioner Prince,
Yes.
Commissioner Wicks,
Yes.
Vice Chair Roberts,
Yes.
Chair Lalonde.
Yes, thank you very much. All right, is that all you got? Yes, sir. Okay, we're gonna move into the public session where those that have attended here, you're authorized 5 minutes to speak on whatever topic that you want to speak about. I'm gonna have Ms. Marshall here kind of give the time, so we got everybody here involved. But please, and I apologize, I know a couple of ladies that came in first, but after that, I don't know who came in after that, so I'm gonna ask if you could kind of let me know kind of where you need to be to talk. But if, as you speak, just remember, it's being recorded. This is all being recorded, so it'll be available if somebody wants to review it later on, or if you want to share it with someone else. We've got one other, so you know, right now, it appears there's only one other person on, and that's Vice Mayor Roberts. She's on with us in addition to our IT person.
Vice Chair, not Vice.
Vice Chair, I'm sorry. Vice Chair, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rita. I'm sorry. So with that, ma'am?
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah, sit here. Yes, ma'am. If you could come up here and give me your name and where you live at, and then you've got 5 minutes after that, and Ms. Marshall will do the timing. So if y'all, we could come up here, so that way we can make sure we hear your voice on the recording. Yes, ma'am, right here.
This way we pitch your voice up on.
I'm not a talk.
Well, did you want to talk?
No.
No, you didn't? Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I thought you wanted to talk. Okay, all right. Who's the next one that wanted to come on? Yes, ma'am, come on up. Yes, ma'am. Again, if you could give us your name, and you've got 5 minutes. Yes, just for the thing's recording right there. And Miss Marshall will write your name down.
I mean, Jacqueline Miles. I want to sit here.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, my name Jacqueline Miles. I live in Lexington Place. These are brand new apartments. And I've been trying to get them to come in to fix them. Ceiling is split. The wall is split and water's coming out of it. Okay, the dumpster, it doesn't make any sense for the dumpster to be like that. I don't even put my trash in because you can't put it in there, put it in my car and take it to my father's house. Because trash is everywhere. Need some assigned parking. You can't even park because so many people out here that don't even live out here. And you can't even get a parking space. And I've been trying to get my wall and my ceiling fixed ever since the end of June. My whole wall just split. My ceiling just split. And it's brand new apartments.
And what's your address?
2840.
2840?
D Creek Boulevard.
Okay.
Okay, and another thing, the furniture people had to take my furniture back to the furniture store 2 times. Cause they didn't measure the door and the wall too close. I couldn't get my couch in there. So I had to go down and get just a little seat, and then that wouldn't even fit, cause the door and the wall is too close together. I love the apartment, but they're brand new. They shouldn't be turned up like they is. I mean, they're falling apart. The water come through my wall, it look like the wall is melting.
Yeah.
And they won't come fix it. They keep saying that the apartments underneath contract, they still have a warranty. The people that built them have to come and do it. I ain't seen the people out here yet. Since they did the street, repaved it. While they repaving it, they need to be making our house safe. It's unsafe. Cause mold are setting there soon. I got emphysema, and that's gonna become a problem for me to be breathing that mold. And I only been there since March. Brand new apartment, first one live in it, and it just turned apart.
Again,
Okay.
Mr. Lyons here, the house officials here, they'll get back with you individually. Ms. Lyons.
Chapel Miles and White Hill.
I ask the next speaker to come on up. Next speaker.
What sense did I do right here?
Ma'am, you'll just sit here with. You want me to grab him?
Are you on?
Sure, I'll put it. You're going. And again, give Ms. Marshall your name and your address.
My name is Mercedes King, Kates.
And you can write it down, because, you know, I don't want, you know,
Right.
feel comfortable, you know, with your. Absolutely.
Ma'am, you got 5 minutes. Ma'am.
Okay, so I live in the front part of Lexington. Like she stated, my wall cracked open. I had water spilling down. I got rugs that got worn that I won't get reimbursed for, and clothes that got wet that I won't get reimbursed for. But I still have a crack in the bathroom ceiling. Like she stated, there's mold. I have multiple sclerosis. I can't have that mold in my house. And as far as the parking, I have to walk from the front of Portsmouth Deep Creek Boulevard all around back just to get to my apartment. And sometimes my legs get numb because of the MS, and it's hard for me to walk. And another thing, the kids have nothing to do out here. And it's sad. There's so much violence and crime going around in Portsmouth, gunshots and everything. A park, a playground, something. Instead of me making them play in the street where cars are coming and different stuff like that. And as far as when the contractors come, I don't need to know that you're under contract. If you're gonna spray for the pest because of the dumpsters and the roaches and stuff coming out, you need to do the whole apartment, not just the front door. And as far as the lighting and stuff like that, y'all said y'all gonna have security stuff, and y'all warning us what's going on, but we need more than that, cause I have to walk all the way from the back around front. I might not know what's in the front by the time I get around there, and I have 2 kids. So I just need more accessibility for people like me who have an illness, and also for the seasoned saints. I'm not gonna say old folks, I'm gonna say the seasoned saints. Cause I know it's hard for them also. But I just feel like these are new apartments. I'm not complaining, I'm so grateful, cause this is my first apartment by myself and my boys. But why do we have these much issues? And then I had a water leak from where the AC comes out. I had a pool in my apartment, and the contractors came and did absolutely nothing. So I had water all in my floor.
Again, we've got your address and you'll hear from us directly, all right?
I have a question. So when you say you have a leak in your bathroom or your?
Yeah,
you
in
say
my
your
bathroom, it's a straight line.
At
It's
the
cracked.
ceiling?
Yes, ma'am. It's
And it
cracked.
leaks downstairs?
Huh? And it comes downstairs. They came in and they said it's not coming from upstairs, so where the ham sandwich is it coming from?
Yes, ma'am.
So when it rains, is it worse or it just leaks all the time?
It's not leaking anymore, thank God, but it's still a crack in there from the mold, and like it swells up still.
Thank you.
That's how,
You got
let's
two,
go.
you got two good boys.
And you gonna babysit, sir?
I've had 4 daughters and I got 7 grandchildren.
How old
I'm trying to do it all by myself, you know?
How old do you think he is?
It looks like he's 3.
Oh, good job.
I'm part of the Team Up Mentoring Program. I mentor young boys. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Come on.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Maybe if you could share your name there with Miss Marshall and we'll get you going. The maintenance of the Lexington is under contract responsibility. We haven't officially taken over, so I don't know. You got leverage. You just got to figure out
Oh,
what we're gonna do.
excuse me, sir,
Yes,
another
ma'am.
thing, the floor, he bumped his head twice.
On
You
the
can't
floor?
have carpet in there, but I had to put carpet in there, cause I'm not gonna see my son getting a concussion.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes, my name is Ashley, and I stay in the apartment out here.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm kind of tired of the kids coming next neighborhood, and they come and they kick my door, they throw rocks at my windows. Now, if they break my window, it's on me, right? It's on me. So they come and they throw stuff, they play with my yard, they leave trash, they done peel stuff off my porch. And then the water is leaking from my ceiling, where the light is in the front room. When I plug my washer, the water is coming from that, I don't know where it's coming from, but I didn't call them. I mean, I love my place, like she said, I love it, but the kids trying to get my money, like seriously. And I called Miss Parker, she said, can't be nothing but call the police, they can't get the kids or something, or what I'm supposed to do?
Right.
Like, I sit there and I'm hearing my door get kicked down, punched and all that, like, what can I do? I mean, they come in and they run, they cuss at you, fuck you, all that, they cussing at you, yelling at you, I mean, and they run back that way through the cut. So, and I'm very, sometimes I'm not even home, and I come in, my porch is messed up. My chair's all off my porch, dirt all on my porch. I don't know what it's doing. That's about all I had to say.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You have water leak too?
Who's
Yeah,
next, ma'am?
one leak is in the, front room, like, I have a laundry room upstairs, so when I try to turn my washer, the water is coming from the light, it's dripping down. I mean, I don't know about it, but I don't know why. Hi.
Give Miss Marshall your name there, so we got it. And your address, too, so we know where to go.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I stayed at 2814 apartment F, and I've been there since at the end of May. And water is leaking through this smoke alarm, it's leaking through my walls. It has messed up the walls so bad. I done called maintenance 2 or 3 times. They come out there, they're confused. They don't know where this water's coming from. I asked them, why can't they get professional people to come in there to find out what's going on? Nothing is being done. And the walls are a mess. It just looks terrible in there for the place to be a new place. And here's some pictures here. That's the
Yes, ma'am.
hanging
See it.
there. It's just a mess. And if you stroll, across, you can see the
Yes, ma'am.
walls. It's just a
Yes,
mess.
ma'am.
I would like to have it.
Yes, ma'am.
And my water is leaking on my steps.
So, Ms. Webb?
Yeah, my water is leaking on the steps, and I stay up steps.
Yes, ma'am.
So when I come down, the first 3 steps down steps is full of water.
No, they haven't been in at all.
They've been in there 3 times, but they can't, they don't know what to do with it. That's this.
Where's the
It's
cat?
down the steps.
all of that. See that?
Hey, Rita, are you able to hear these folks?
Yes, I can hear them.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
The problem I have, I've been in Dale's home here since 1973. I raised my kids up out there. I done seen it go from good to bad. Now, it's bad when you can't sit on your porch in the evening. You can't even get up in the daytime, any time of the day, without ducking a bullet. And the thing about the trash, you got people come up there to other people's houses, even the residents, and pour their trash right on there in the yard, in the parking lot. They don't care. And the thing it is, the trouble we have, no, it's not the people that live in there, but wait a minute, yes it is. Because when you got people hanging in your house, and they got guns and they doing this and that, that's your problem. Because you're responsible for your company. See, them young people, they not gonna do nothing and they not gonna say nothing. Because when you wrong, why come where things want to be right at? You're not gonna come. I caught a 45 slug in the back of my car. If it had hit the gas tank, it would have blew up and took every car up in there because the tank was full. Costing my insurance $1,100 and some dollars. And it's bad. People not gonna tell on people, cause like I say, when you do wrong and you got these people hanging up in your house, I have a problem with you. And it's a sad thing. Cause there's so many kids in Dale's home. Children scared to come outside. Yeah. My grandbaby got 4 children. Her children play in the house. Just like they outside. She said it's so dangerous. I'm not gonna let my kids get hurt like that. And God forbid every one of them to get hurt like that. Then somebody would have to save me. Cause I would take these people in Dale's home down. Cause it's a sad thing. You're responsible for these kids. You're responsible for seniors like me. But y'all don't care. They sit around, they smoke weed, all on the porches. I can't come out of my house. I used to walk these parks for exercise because I have terrible arthritis. Supposed to keep a brace on my back. Told me I was gonna be crippled and be in a wheelchair. But I got a God that I serve to protect me. But like I said, who's gonna protect the rest of the people? And I'm glad and I'm thank y'all for listening to me because somebody got to come forward sometime.
Well, I tell you what, next time in the area, let me knock on your door and we walk the neighborhood together. Is that all right?
Hey,
Okay.
leave me. Thank you.
Thank you, yes, ma'am. There's someone else who'd like to talk? Ladies, anybody else? Ma'am, it's good seeing you again. Yes, ma'am. All right. Mr. Bland, if you could come right up here, give Miss Marshall your name and your address. You've got 5 minutes to speak, sir.
Yeah, I say 50 Dale Drive.
Yes, sir.
My name is Michael Block. And like I said, I grew up in this neighborhood. I've been in this neighborhood almost 60 years. And from Shapoorson to here. It's just crazy out here now, you know. Some of the things I used to do when I was younger, I don't do no more, so I don't have to worry about that because I'm spared. But the other ones that still doing these things out here in the street, they putting these children in harm's way. I don't even drive my truck through this way. Too many kids, sometimes they're not supervised, they running in between cars and stuff. And they just need to put some speed bumps through there, man. They come through here driving like they're crazy, flying. They ain't looking for no kid behind a ball. That ball bouncing across the street, trust me, there's a kid behind it. So what I'm saying, I don't have my kids grown, but I do have grandkids, and they do come over here occasionally. I don't want none of them to be out there playing, or somebody starts shooting. They sitting in the living room, something come through the window and hit them, or hit me. So, you know, it's time for some change around here, man. They gotta step up and do something, man. Can't come out here and show your face at one time, and then don't show your face no more. The city just gotta get some money to do something about these things, man. They spending money on everything else. Spend some money on some security stuff. You know? So certain places you go, I remember when I was growing up in the early 80s, I left here, I moved to Boston. They was on the busing situation then, they were trying to ship the kids to South Boston to school. Worst situation in the world, man. They overcame that. And that's a major city. We ain't no big city like that. And like I said, they got the money is here for them to do something. They're spending it somewhere else. Spending it somewhere else. They just like normal people. We get reluctant. We don't know where our priorities are here. That's what that is. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. And the speed bump really bad.
Excellent. Excellent. Do we have any other public speakers? Right, I just want to say thank you very much for y'all being here, and thank you very much for, we're gonna give it everything we got. I don't make promises that I can't keep, but we're gonna give it everything we got. I can only say, when I come in the neighborhood, I'm like this, all right? I drive a silver Escape or a blue Ford, and as y'all did, this is my hometown. I grew up in Hodges Manor, went to Hodges Manor, Harry Hunt, Woodrow Wilson. This is my home. Y'all are my family. A couple of y'all, probably went to school with somebody. But we've got the commissioners here. We were appointed by council to do something. We've got folks that have lived in housing, so they are well aware of what we should be doing. And I got to tell you, they challenge us every day about what we should be doing.
What about the builders? What's that built these apartments?
I'm gonna find out. You told me something I don't know. All right, this is why we're having these meetings here now, because we want to talk to y'all about it. So we're not, I want to make sure you understand, we're not ducking anything. We're here to try and get smart ourselves so we know what to do. All right, and we're gonna give it the best shot we can. Ma'am, if you're gonna speak, you have to do it publicly up here. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Oh, we'll go to you.
Yes, ma'am.
How y'all doing?
Yes, ma'am. Just give Ms. Marshall your name and your address, ma'am.
You want to see him?
Yes, ma'am, please.
How y'all doing today? My name is Lena Renee Holly.
Your address, ma'am?
25, 15. Brown Street.
So you've got 5 minutes, ma'am.
Okay, man, where we stay at, where the big field at, when them children be doing crazy stuff, they run off through that field, run here and run there. That causes a bunch of trouble and make me scared. I got bad nerves and I'm a sleep application. Right here where they field, when they do their dirt, they fly all back there, come on back up. It just be so much going on. The generation now, they terrible. I'm just saying, I'm scared and my nerves bad. That field, whatever they do, they come from their cut, come all the way up here, do whatever they're gonna do, and go on back there with, once they hit the track, they can go with it, what they wanna do. I'm just letting you put some, no trespassing to stand up there with a big field at, but they fly all back there after they do their dirt. Then you hear pow, my nerve bad.
Right, ma'am? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I ain't gonna sugarcoat you.
Just one more. I ain't gonna take too much time. Okay, there's been so many young children out here. They built an apartment, they built this big old room. got all this nice furniture. Why the kids can't come here maybe a Tuesday morning, Tuesday evening, have a movie day? You know, give them something to do. They're running around, throwing trash away, all on the ground, but they need something to do. If it ain't nothing but doing a weekday, give them a movie day, a big TV screen. That's chairs. They can sit there. And I sure enough would come here and supervise and not by myself. There's so many, but they need something to do. Need some kind of activity. Cause they're supposed to be starting back school. Some of them gonna be doing virtual learning. And then when the evening time comes, they're out, sitting on them electric boxes. Lord forbid if one of them get electrocuted.
Yeah.
And I'm always in my car, smoking my cigarettes and I'm watching the kids. Don't do that. Little boy took the rock, right on the bricks. I say, come here. Don't you like where you living at? Yes, ma'am. Don't mark on the bricks. Who put a rose bush around dumpsters? You know, the rose bushes are pretty, but who put them around the dumpster? The children are plucking the rose petals off. They stepped them all down. The rose gonna eat them because so much trash. If y'all could just get them to put that trash inside that dumpster. It just don't make no sense because it's going to get cold. There's gonna be so many rodents. And I'm gonna have my BB gun.
Mr. Chair,
Please.
real quickly, I just want to thank you all for coming. I want you all to know, I'm a past resident of the row home. And your concerns are very important to us, but this is what we need you to do. You as residents have to be involved and come to the meetings. I can remember the landlord out Dale's home used to have meetings, and every time she would have them, I would go and I would be the only one, and that lady back there with the blue mask. I can remember, no residents would come, but you have to speak up, and when you see something, say something. You know, I was always on the phone with the police, call me snitch, whatever you want. It was too many things happening that day in court that I was videoing, taking pictures and giving them to the police. You have to, if you see something, you have to say something, because like you all said, and our concern is keeping you all safe. Everybody wants to be safe, and you have children and grandchildren, you can't come out and play. I get that. And we need you to keep coming, voicing your opinion. Get involved.
They may get shot.
Thank you.
Let's say it.
Right, thank you very much, thank you. We're gonna move on to the rest of our agenda. Thank you all very much for being here.
Thank you all very much.
I told you 1,000 times, but I never met you. Can I get a picture, because this is an important, I'm in DC, and this is the kind of picture that people want to see. You know, that everybody here is working and meeting together and discussing, so.
Why don't y'all stand over here behind us so we can get in the picture too, if y'all don't mind.
What's your name, sir?
Bruce, if y'all wanna sit here.
Get something.
We're gonna try, man.
Where you talking? Where's them?
All right, let's get y'all up here. One quick second. No, stand over there. We'll get up there, take a picture.
All right, I've been over here.
Yes, sir.
I was, trying to make sure we didn't miss the money paint here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, they're good enough? You got a wide angle in?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, sir. All right, everybody smile.
One, two, and three, gotcha.
Thank you.
Still got Before on the Dale, we come to a swamp.
That's one thing.
We've got to wait until it's two, right, before we figure out what land. Mr. Bland?
Okay, Commissioners,
Sir, if we can continue with our meeting, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Commissioners, before we had Gerald Bannon, he worked at the HUD headquarters in DC, and he want to talk about the STEM program that he's working with, that can benefit our kids. In fact, I met with Gerald up in Richmond a month ago. I drove to Richmond and we talked. The Richmond Housing Authority had been doing something with him at this time. I think Petersburg was doing something at one time too. And I asked him to come down just to talk about how we as a housing authority going forward, because what they're trying to do is come up with programs that can benefit the kids that live in, not only public housing, but just affordable housing in general. Gerald, he's a graduate of West Point. Actually, he was a starting quarterback, first minority starting quarterback at West Point when he played football. So I'm gonna let him tell his story. He said he didn't have West Point on his mind. They came looking for him. That's how he went to West Point.
Well, thank y'all.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so I do work for HUD. I represent HUD veterans, being a graduate of West Point in the Army, so now I'm the president or the chair of the HUD Veterans Affinity Group. And because of that, it has allowed me some opportunities that typically, would not have been able to enjoy. Like being a co-lead for the STEM cluster for the White House initiative on HBCU, and serving on as a liaison to the National Science Foundation, as well as other interagency STEM organizations. What does that mean? That means that, there's what I'm learning, and you all probably inherently know, graduate was an engineer, so, it wasn't something that's foreign to me, because I love math and I love sciences, and I think that anybody who has curiosity about anything loves science. So STEM, the first letter in STEM is science and technology, engineering and math. So that is a critical job component, that we have more STEM jobs coming available and fewer people able to take hold of them. And something that that you may not know is that you don't always have to have a 4-year degree to be in a STEM profession. All you need at times is a 3-month certification, or maybe a 6-month, or maybe a 9-month certification to become involved in the world of STEM. And to make the starting salary, I always go low, starting no less than 50, but more and more, that starting is no less than 80,000. So when we have kids who are not sure what to do they know that that's possible for them? And if they don't know it's possible for them, then why not? And that is, and when it comes to engineering, it's always about a process of understanding what's going on, what are the issues, what are the problems, let's talk about them, let's solve them. That's engineering. So you don't have to necessarily be that hardcore, individual, that's in the scientist or the technologist, but when you really look at it, STEM is everything. You have to read, you have to write, and then, art. We make things, so STEM is the 4, but it just, goes out from that. So how did I get to West Point? I came up in the public housing community in Beaumont, Texas. And in order to stay out of trouble, I was those kids that you were talking about. I was those kids who would use the field. We would play, We played, football, basketball, baseball, running around without shoes, using a stick or a bat and using, tape, paper, for the ball. Kids get innovative. And if you continue, like the one lady said, I come and I supervise them. That's what she said. And that is exactly what's needed. Because I had that sort of environment, West Point found me. It knocked on my door inside of my house. And that is, when it did that, the only question I had of them is, do you play football on TV? It's the only question I can ask them. And then they laughed. They said, we're the largest game in the world, every year. Then I started, I always loved Roger Staubach. And I didn't, put the two. So I'm gonna go to the Army and be that guy, So that was a dream of mine. But before I got there, they came to my house late in April. And then June, you had to start, and it was too late for me to get in. So go to this school in Connecticut. That school is Choke Rosemary Hall. It's the feeder school for Yale University. It's the Ivy League world. And I did extraordinarily well. And I had lots of people coming after me then. I had Yale, Dartmouth, Princeton, all of them, coming at me. But I said that was the best time of my life, and I owe it to West Point because I was raised in the church, and you pay respect. So I went to the academy just to pay respect because I didn't want to stay. I wanted to go and play in the pros. But they knew better than me what it would take for somebody who has the grit and who is competitive. They always put somebody in front of me. And what I learned, later on in my life is that it became harder for me to quit something than it was for me to start something. So once you get into those institutions, you got to really not want to be there, to get there. So I then decided after, graduating from West Point that I would spend the rest of my life telling the world, what's possible. Because what I had learned is that just playing and having a good, loving environment, the tendency of a kid is to, push the limits, but we don't have to allow, the limits to be bad for them. If we just stay, if we stay connected to the boundaries, because once they go over the boundary and they start tasting it, then they start influencing, and we could do something, so that's why, the STEM Innovation Networks got started. Because West Point then said, Pearl, you're in HUD. We love, doing STEM stuff, and we need our cadets to go into the community. So they would send cadets into the communities. And we started, the very first one was in 2012, and it was in Norfolk Redevelopment Housing Authority. Followed by a week later, Richmond Redevelopment Housing Authority. Then followed by Hampton, which is then when Portsmouth got involved. So I don't know if anybody was here back in 2013, 2014, but you used to have 2 AmeriCorps volunteers sitting on your property. And we also were able to get equipment from the Department of Defense and to give you Lego robots. And we had a big event here in Portsmouth. And I see that y'all have kept things going, but can we do more? So now that I sit at the White House level and I'm hearing the billions of dollars that are out there, this story is not being told. And this story, if it were told more often, then would some of the things I just heard, would it be something then that people would want to test? You always want to test, but what you want is sustainability. And if they would come down and they see, where you have started sustaining efforts here and you got newer buildings, then, what I'm trying to do now, sitting at that White House level, is trying to bring Department of Energy at the table and say, hey, we like what y'all are doing. Why don't we send some kids to some of our labs? NASA, we like what you're doing. Let's make sure to go to Hampton and, some of the other places. West Point, we have been involved with this so much that we always send kids to West Point summer STEM camps. And so me being in HUD, the only people that I'm looking for are kids who are in the public housing community. So we have normally 10 slots set aside. But the last 2 years have been virtual. So, but still, it's a good experience because when the kid gets a certificate, then that certificate stays with them. And if they continue on their path, through matriculation, through the elementary, through the middle, to the high school, this certificate, should they want to go to a free institution, like West Point is, and get a $450,000 experience, like what you do at West Point. This certificate helps them get a couple of extra points. And we all know what a couple of extra points can mean, between, success and not. So what we are doing in Richmond, this is exactly the sort of flyer that you had before in Portsmouth. But what I wanted to bring to your attention, and here are the kids, there's the second cohort of kids ever. But it's this is innovative in that it's low tech. And if you get kids, involved in low tech something, all you want them to do is, like the young lady said, why don't we bring them in this room? Why don't we bring them in this room and let's get them to, with a shoebox and a curriculum of STEM, build an airplane, one shoebox. There's 4 classes in each shoebox. And the shoebox are, build cars, build soap. It could be so many different things. It could, help right now and help kids understand how to, develop and so this is the kind of stuff that we've been doing here, the partners. And here's what's important. Because right here, you will see that the city of Richmond, every week at a meeting, got the city of Richmond, president of the council, got the president of the school board, the chairwoman of the school board, got the police chief, we got the executive director of the housing authority, we have the university every week. We're talking about this. And then this shoebox, 3 times, 12 classes in spring, turned into a 6-week STEM session at the housing authority. And now every one of those communities, wants, this. How do we sustain this? We sustain it by working with, the partners. You always establish some real good partners around here, but can there be a few more? I've seen some of them. I saw like New Lambda, Omicron, New Lambda. They're working in the school system, with, mentorship and all that. You need an organization that's going to help you, bring mentors, just like the young lady said. She said, I would be here. And that's exactly what you want to hear somebody say. But she also said, I'm not going to do it by myself.
Absolutely right.
Which then you got organizations around who would help her if only they knew that you had a place. You had a curriculum that follows the SOL. And then once kids start coming to it, kids are going to say, I love it. I've not done this before. It's been so fun. I've never heard them not say they did not have fun in any of these, but it's about the people that you bring. And then what happens when the kid gets excited? The parents get excited. So there's a story of a young lady who, did this, and she wanted to be a photographer in the 6th grade. She kept doing this, through junior high and through high school. Now she's going to school to be an engineer, civil engineer. And her mom said, well, because my daughter did it, now I'm pursuing, being a STEM professional in nursing. And I won't be going to the Department of Defense. That's what just these little activities right here, really do mean. So a coordinated investment, to do this, and I had that story told to the people that I'm telling you who are sitting at the White House trying to figure out who is doing anything on the ground anywhere. But you have a story, I've said. So if you then picked up and said, this story is part of what we've been doing in Virginia for a while, then now you become part of, who's going to tell that story? I'm going to tell it. What I just told you, you did do it. And the reason I know that, I got pictures. Everything that I ever say to you, I got a picture somewhere to prove to you that it did happen. But when I saw, looking through your PHA plan, and I see all the STEM activities that you are doing, and I said, great, it still goes on. Now let's marry back. And let's go and tell, the story, because it's in your plan. So then when National Science Foundation last year said, Gerald, we like what you just said about STEM, and we didn't know that y'all was doing anything in STEM. Would you please pursue for this NSF Includes grant, which is $10 million over 5 years? But we weren't talking. So the same thing is getting ready to happen again, because I'm going to talk about in September the 8th. And when I talk about it, then somebody or several gonna knock at the door. Do you have people who can do something? Then everybody's gonna have to be on board immediately, not trying to figure it out, and then wait till deadlines pass and to say, a year from now, I wish we had done that, when you have been doing some things. So, this is, what it looks like to have something, and this is the, the background, what, STEM is, but as much as I can talk, I don't know if you got the video queued up, but there's nothing better than seeing, a video, that is about 3 minutes long, 3.5, what has been happening. And I don't know if y'all can, come and see this, that YouTube video? Can you, play it?
Warren, are you there?
Warren, can you hear us? Can you cue the video if you have it?
I'm here.
Yes, sir.
I should mention there was no video in the link, just this,
Go to YouTube.
no, do you know the address?
Yeah, if you go to YouTube, well, you just Google, and then you put HUD STEM Innovation Networks.
Okay.
Math major, I could never spell. Oh, my goodness.
There it is, right there. You know what? Time out, everybody, time out. Y'all see, somebody said, this is such a good video that we're gonna put an ad on there. No, that's what just happened. So this is a HUD product. We normally never let that happen. That's the first time I've seen the video. All righty, sir. that we had here, which was at the Richmond National Raceway, a young man for the first time saw HUD. He met the West Pointers, and that was the first time he saw West Point. And then he committed that day, 2014, and said, I want to go to West Point. And he just entered the academy, and he's playing on that football team there. So it's the exposure that we're talking about. And like someone else said in this room, is that we don't want you here today and don't see you tomorrow. You know, so that is what we then, as engineers together, must then figure out, because it really does not have to happen. So when things, you know, start, you know, there are people who have talent, and we have to start interviewing people immediately who have an interest. When I say talent, it doesn't mean that you have to know this stuff. It means you have to have the grit, you know, to be involved, stay involved, and keep up the communications, because communications, and if I continue to say to y'all, I know things up there, and if you don't ever ask me, you know, who might else I talk to, then I can never give it to you. You know, so that's what the continuous communication, you know, is all about. And there is no one in here, if kids start succeeding, if they started making, you know, more money, they started getting more talent, and the parents start doing it, isn't that a benefit for our revenue, our city, our state, our country? You know, isn't that what would be the outcome? So I am proselytic, as you can see. I went to a place that if I talk to you about the Ivy League, for us to go to the Ivy League, it would cost like $2,000 a year. And knowing my family didn't have that, it was another reason. I said, well, let me go to this free place. And but it was the best decision I could ever make. And that's the decision that a lot of kids hear, if they only knew it were possible for them. And the only way they will not know if people who know refuse to say so. So, you know, the one thing that we always look for at the federal level, and you too, in business level, when did you know about something? How long did it take you to implement that something? You know, the closer that gap, the more efficient. The longer, the more inefficient. So you all have done some wonderful things when I see the buildings, you know, that you've built here. Now, let's continue working, you know, on those lines. And, you know, people don't have to leave when new buildings are built, especially knowing we have Section 3 available to us. All we need to do is really, you know, get them involved in charrettes early on, get them to start imagining what could be, collectively, let them start innovating what their future, you know, should look like. Test it. If it's good, here it goes. If it's not, then go back. Let's keep doing it. That's what we like to see in sports. You know, you fail, get up, go do it again. Now, let's get them something for the rest of their lives that they can, you know, be able to do. So, I'm me. You know how to get in touch with me. I think my information, yeah, it's on this one. They stand. It's at the bottom, you know, here. But you know, the ED and I, you know, we have a vested interest. And because when he's not doing this, he's also involved with some other outside activities where the mission is to serve everyone, you know, to lead and to transcend. And I see that you all want to do that same thing, especially when I see that the last bullet is to innovate, to help improve lives through innovation. And that's what this is about. So it doesn't mean that it needs to be sophisticated. It means you have to get started and then do some innovative things and communicating with, you know, people and kids in ways that they have not been communicated with before. That's what changed my life. And I know that I'm not the only one with a story like that, but let's pull it together. That's why I am here, because I am interested. Any questions?
Let me just say, when I met with Gerald up in Richmond, I told him that the Portsmouth Housing Authority definitely want to bring this program back to Portsmouth, to our kids. And I told him that I would work with him to make that happen, because I see it as a great opportunity. There's no question, the more we can expose our young kids to, the more they can dream and have an opportunity. And this is a way for them to dream.
Ms. Bennett, thank you very much. Fantastic. I appreciate it. I know those of us who are citizens of Portsmouth, you know, we're learning what's available through us through the Housing Authority. I know here in Portsmouth, we have a very active Star-Based Victory program within the public schools, and I know we have a lot of our students in the public schools. And we have in this community a company called Simpsys, which is a robotics STEM company that was just named, the company was just named one of the top companies in the state of Virginia. So now if we can just bring that into housing, because as you said, we have a lot of influence. We have a lot of kids, and we want to do the best we can to give them opportunities. We have a very, very, very active family self-sufficiency program, very active. They're award-winning, matter of fact.
Yeah.
But as you know, it's something we have to do every day and every day. So I appreciate your time. And I'm going to present to you on behalf of the board, one of our Portsmouth Redevelopment Housing Authority pens that works all the time. It's not high tech, but it does work, sir. And I just want to say thank you for your time, sir. Thank
Y'all
you.
have something else that's a secret. You have the Jobs Plus program.
Yes, sir. That's exactly right.
And it's a secret because when people do make that income, and the quicker they do make that income, then the more they benefit, you know, by not having to pay extra rent. That's just a tremendous.
Yes, sir. It is.
What did I say? If kids get involved, and then you get all of these industry experts to come, you know, because you gotta come for the kids now.
Right.
Then you start redirecting them and say, can you give us an internship or a slot or, you know, something, you know, a training program for? Because a kid to get involved and to stay involved, I've not ever seen where a parent or an adult was not right there with them.
Right.
So you have a secret.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, Mr. President. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Quick question. There, HUD has, the STEM program is offered to children in the housing communities here?
This
Or
is-
it, I know it's a nationwide thing, right?
We have done it here. The thing that I have learned, you know, Tyler, when you have an unfunded initiative like what I'm talking about, you're at the behest of those who do fund it. So back then, when West Point was funded, West Point is the one who paid for cadets to come into the community. When a cadet and their professors come into the community, you will not say no. You don't say no because it's something that you just have not seen before. And then when kids see it, you know who else comes to that event? The mayors come, the universities come, you have the businesses come. Why? Because it's that institution. Why would they be spending time with the kids, you know, in a school system, you know, that, because we know that we have to inspire, we have to excite, and we have to engage. And that's an engagement strategy, one that you did not have to pay for, right? So then it's about, can we then start talking? Are you interested? And if you are, then where are the funding mechanisms? Because like I said, one of your goals is to pursue resources. And I think that when you say pursue resources, you're talking about pursue resources so you can build buildings. Let's also pursue resources to improve the talent, you know, the human talent. That's what's available that you will not know about or are not here.
All right, any other comments? Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
We're going to move into a closed session now, and I'm going to read the resolution. Whereas the Freedom of Information Act provides that the Board of Commissioners can meet in a closed meeting for the discussion or consideration of the acquisition or the disposition of publicly held real property, where discussion in open meeting would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body as set forth in section 2.2, 3711 of the Code of Virginia as amended, that matters of discussion are the disposition of real property located in downtown Portsmouth, Prentice Park, and Churchland. Now therefore it be resolved that in compliance with Virginia Information Act, Freedom of Information Act, and the above referenced section of Virginia Code, the Board of Commissioners shall reconvene in a closed meeting on August 19th, 2020 for a discussion of the disposition of real property in Virginia Code section 2.2-37. So I need a vote, I guess, to go into closed session. Yeah, Ms. Marshall.
Commissioner Barrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Carr,
Yes.
Commissioner Diggy, okay, Commissioner Prince,
Yes.
Commissioner Wick,
Yes.
Vice Chair Robert,
Yes.
Chair Lundy.
Yes. We're now in closed session. Thank you.